Hi everyone, Shalom. So in this video I'm going to read an article which is from openbiblemessage.org, and the writer here is Pastor Gary Khan, and I believe he is from California, and he experiences one season there, which is the dry season, and he has also heard that many Americans experience 4 seasons, which are spring, summer, fall, and winter, and that must be nice. Yet whether we experience 2 seasons or 4 seasons, they all represent different times in our human existence, and they are integral to our life experience. Solomon, if you know, the wise king and philosopher in the Bible, echoes that sentiment when he says that to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. You can read the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 to 8. So pause a moment and ponder the 4 seasons that God has ordained. Even without much deep thought, we can easily see some of their purposes. Spring is the time of beginnings, exciting opportunities, and anticipation for the future. Seeds planted during this season will take root and mature during summer's labor, producing a harvest in the fall when we get to reap the rewards of our efforts. Everything draws to a close in winter. Often, we think of childhood and youth as springtime, while summer represents the emerging prime of life. Fall starts somewhere beyond middle age, and everything slows and fades to a finish in elderly winter time. But applying the seasons to our growth, our progress, or our advancement, we can recognize that each season is unique and adds important dimensions to life. So number 1, spring. Spring is about potential, promise, planning, and possibilities. It is time of opportunities and beginnings. Number 2, summer. Summer is time of growth and maturation. The seeds we planted during spring mature into full-sized plants. Summer is a season of work, when we invest the time and effort required to become good at what we do. Number 3, autumn. Autumn is the season of harvest. We see the production or the reward of our labors. Our hard work begins to pay off. Number 4 is winter. Winter is the season of winding down, withdrawal, retreat, and closure. Activities, responsibilities, and relationships draw to a close. This is a time of ending. It also represents a period of rest, restoration, and reflection. So God has a purpose for every season we go through. Seasons are not permanent, and until God stops the process, the cycle will repeat. The season in which you now find yourself will soon pass. Once winter passes, another spring is at the doorstep. Seasons do not last forever. They are transient. They will pass, and another season will be upon us. Understanding that our seasons are passing, providential, and purposeful is valuable. However, of greater value is what we do in those seasons. What should be our response to each? Number 1, embrace your season. Often our first response to a challenging season is to complain our way through, which inadvertently prolongs the season, or at the very least makes it seem longer than it is. As a result, we waste a cycle and must wait to repeat the season. Before number 2, Let me read the book of Galatians chapter 6 verse 9. Galatians chapter 6 verse 9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Amen. So number 2 is explore your season. Learn and see what God is doing. To get the most out of where you are, you must understand the characteristics of your season. When we recognize the season, we need to make necessary adjustments to get the most out of it. Enlist the help of others. For example, especially those who may have gone through what you are now going through, or those who are in a different season, who can offer you encouragement. What we must not do is stay away from others because we are angry that they are in springtime while we are in the heat of summer. So next is 3 questions. So there are 3 questions here that you can ask God, and you can bring them into your prayers. Number 1, what lessons are God teaching you? Number 2, what actions do you need to be taking? And number 3, what is your plan moving forward? Okay? So after explore your season, number 3 is esteem your season. Recognize that God is in control. Romans chapter 8 verse 28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Don't forget, seasons are God-ordained and purposeful. God is working all things for His good purposes. So enjoy the season you are in. Do not despise it. Do not run from it. Do not have a bad attitude about it. Instead of being unhappy or even fearful about where we are, we should be praying, "Father, you have placed me here at this time. How do you want to use me? How can I be available to you so that you can work out your purposes in this place?" So, are you in spring season? If yes, you need to understand this. Times of beginnings can be invigorating, and spring offers brand new opportunities and possibilities. In springtime, you may feel like you are invincible and don't recognize your dependence on God. You may be excited about the possibilities, but take time to understand how those opportunities stack up against God's purposes. The decisions you make in this season of promise will determine much for the other seasons. If you are in summer, okay, so here is the explanation. The seeds we planted during spring have matured into full-sized plants. Some of you are close to harvest. Do not give up now. Do not give up. You are hot and tired and nearing the edge of exhaustion, and you want to jump ahead to fall, but to jump ahead would be short-circuiting what God is doing in you. Stay the course, keep tilling, keep watering, keep tending the crop, and don't give up. Are you in fall? Your hard work is beginning to pay off. It is easy to get prideful in this season and think that your success is all your own doing. It's also easy to devalue others' input. But how you handle the season of harvest sets you up for the next cycle of seasons. Okay? Are you in winter? Maybe your activities, responsibilities, and relationships are winding down. This is the time of finishing well. It is a period of rest, restoration, and reflection. Remember your calling. Okay, so the message here is remember your calling, because in 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 2, it's written here that preach the word, be prepared in season and out of season. Correct, rebuke, and encourage with great patience and careful instruction. So let me highlight the words here: be prepared in season and out of season. Okay? In every season you are a witness of in every season you are a witness to God's power and sovereignty. Your response in your seasons of good and bad, blessings and challenging times, preaches a message to the people around you. So be grateful, keep being grateful, and remember your calling.